Hey everyone, Xman490 here. Let me tilt this a little bit so I don't get a good angle at me. And I got a poster of the like Rosalina and Smash Bros, but that's another story. What we're doing here is Don't Starve Reign of Giants. I'm going to actually delete this world. That was an attempt at doing this, and for some reason, like the bitrate of my recording wasn't good enough, so it got really fuzzy. But I think this will look okay. I'm going to split these recordings into like single days, as long as I can, as long as I remember. I might not remember, and then I'll like not upload some day or two. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to have a guide for spring. Um, Let me show you the characters first, explaining what isn't like so obviously stated here. So, Wilson's magnificent beard, depending on its length, which it grows over 16 days, it is maximum length at 16 days, no shaving, of course, and it's pretty good for winter because it protects him against the harsh cold weather. It can be, I think it will be pretty annoying during summer, as it does provide some insulation, but you can quickly shave it off and get some sanity back from that. Willow, basically summed up here, quite dangerous to use in Reign of Giants. Without Reign of Giants and in Don't Starve Together as it is right now. Wait, can I? Okay. So things are looking okay. I was thinking that my camera wasn't like set up properly, but no, it's fine. Willow. So before Reign of Giants and in Don't Starve Together as it is right now in the beta, food items tend to burn. So like if you put a crock pot down or farms, those will burn down if fire reaches them. So you better watch out. Then there's Wolfgang. Wolfgang eats a lot, as he digests quickly, so it's best not used in Don't Starve Together. He'll usually end up like, starving if you bring him into multiplayer, because there's not that much food. Usually, of course. Wendy, so her twin sister is basically, Wendy has a flower, and then after a few days, the flower will bloom. You put the blooming flower on the ground, kill something by it, and then it will bring up Abigail, and Abigail will help you fight things, particularly well during the dusk and night. Then WX78, I believe up until this one, or maybe this one, yeah, like this one, and then the ones like Woody and before, they're unlocked by just playing well, playing for surviving for several days. So, as it mentions, as you might guess, WX, if no matter what freshness food is at, it will gain all of the benefits from the food. Charged by lightning means that it will regain all of its health, but lose some sanity. But it will generate light and be running quickly for a day or two, so that's really good. And it does sort of counteract the sort of damaged by water thing, because it's fully healed. And upgrading with gears basically increases its maximum health, sanity, and hunger, or stomach meter, as I call it. Those are the three that, are like, health is the bottom line, but if you lose too much sanity, then monsters like nightmarish monsters will come up and attack you. And if you starve, then you're gonna digest your own body, thus harming yourself. Wicker Bottom, well, hate spoilage is basically. Hang on, okay, so the mouse cursor is not shown here. Okay, just to let you know. She hates spoilage, so if she eats something that's stale, for instance, she will only get like a quarter of the benefits, like, feeding, I guess, instead of half, I believe. And self-publishing books is basically like she has her own tab and she can just self-publish those books. Um, some of them they can have like really interesting effects, like calling up a bunch of birds or regrowing all the plants in the vicinity, or even spawning some tentacles, monstrous tentacles to fight things. Woody, his terrible secret is basically if he chops too much with his axe, which does chop quickly, so it's sort of like an interesting balance there. If he chops too much, or if the full moon comes up, he will turn into a werebeaver. And the problem with that is that he has no inventory during that, like when he's a werebeaver. However, he can chop down trees quickly and fight monsters just based on a sort of wood meter, which is increased by eating plant material. Wes Silent is okay. So, well, first of all, balloonomancy is basically making a balloon, losing a little bit of sanity, but you make a balloon, and monsters might go after it, but it's not very useful. With Wes is basically a challenge character found in the middle of adventure mode. There's an area with some carpet and a bunch of clockwork monsters, and if you fight them all, then and break down like some statues, then Wes will be released from a prison. So Wes, I guess the can't talk is pretty much a problem because you'll have to keep your ears open for when things start coming around, like when big monsters come by. And trouble staying alive is basically 25% lower maximum stats, 25% faster digestion rate, and 25% less attack power. With, I believe, Wolfgang, it's up to 3 times attack power when he's mighty, and it's full belly. Maxwell, he regains sanity from his dapperness, but he has low health. And I think he spawns with some things that take advantage of that, a sword and some armor, and also a particular book that lowers his maximum sanity, but gives him some little helpers to help him chop trees or attack. Wigfrid, so gaining power from fallen foes is basically if you kill something, then you regain your health and sanity, which is really good. You just keep beating on spiders till forever, basically. And only eats meat, and she can actually eat monster meat with lower problems, not so many problems. Like you usually eat monster meat raw and it's really gross, but if you cook it, it's slightly less gross, and if you make it jerky, then the problems with it are negligible. You can deal with it. Weber actually can eat monster meat if it's not stale or because he is a monster. But the problem with that is that, like, sure, he can befriend spiders, but he cannot befriend pigs. The pigs will attack him, as he is a monster. So will catcoons. So Weber and Wigfrid are the characters who are only in the DLC, which Spring comes from. And speaking of that DLC, it also brings forth Spring and Summer, and I will start in Spring as a sort of challenge sort of thing. So how long has this been going on? No, 9 minutes. Whatever. Not that bad. I explained a lot there, and this is supposed to be a guide. So, with each season, you'll notice that the world tints a little bit. In spring, it's a nice green color like this. In autumn, I think it's sort of a greenish brown. In winter, it's a light blue color, and in summer, it's like an orange color. Here's the thing about spring. So, bees, you saw that bee was red, right? Usually they are yellow, and when they are red, they will actually go ahead and attack you unprovoked. If you go near them. Many monsters, many creatures in this world do that. So you need to be careful. You need to know which will just run after you, and which will, like, sort of roar a bit before they attack you, or they'll just pop up and smack you a bit. You gotta watch yourself. So the most important thing to do is gathering resources. And first of all, we want to gather up a lot of cut grass and twigs. I have them here because I want to, because with I can actually select particular things. Usually, you just right click, as you see, to eat something, but you can also press 1 to select that in that slot, you understand? Butterflies. Butterflies you can actually control and click, and then you can try and punch them. But they might fly away, especially in Don't Starve Together, where it has some lag. Because, once you go near them, they will fly away. So you gotta be quick. That's pretty much explained. Bunnies, when you're not in spring, they're a pretty good source of food, especially in winter. They do come out of their holes every day, but not in the spring. And you can trap them with this. But that's not what I'm going to do today in this thing. I guess I'll demonstrate how the bees get aggressive. And maybe I'll go near this one. Is he going to get mad? No, not really. Is it you? No? Okay, well, just take my word for it that they will attack you if you go near them, and they are red like that. So this area is a really nice biome because, well, it gives you a lot of grass and twigs, your saplings, and also some birch trees in Reign of Giants, that is. Without Reign of Giants, then you'll just get, like, pine trees, which, unlike birch trees, do not give birch nuts, which, as you may guess, as it looks similar to the food items here, it can actually serve as food. You have to cook it, of course, but it feeds gives you 10 back of your hunger meter. Hunger meter starts off at 150, health at 150, sanity at 200. And when sanity is, I believe, like 15%, like less than 15% of its maximum, then when it's less than 50% of its maximum, then 15%, then the sanity monsters will come out, and nothing can help you fight them. You have to fight them yourself. You have to fight your own monsters, your own nightmares. So as you can see, there are some pine cones here, but not with this, as Wilson explained. The reason why I'm playing as Wilson is just nothing like major. It's just that, it's one that you start off with, so why not? This is actually an interesting biome. I think it comes up around and leads you to the end of the world, sort of, which is a big thing, and then you get other things, literally things, and then you bring them to the wooden thing, and there you go. This, a totally normal tree, is, well, as you may guess, an evil tree. Ah, a spider's after me. As I mentioned, some monsters will roar before they start attacking you. And the nice thing about spring is that visibility is a little more than usual in the dusk, but you need to keep in mind that it is pretty dark. It is dusk. So what I'm gathering here is manure, and that will be useful later. So I will just put it over here in this slot. I like to have grass, then twigs, then logs or other things for fire fuel. Speaking of fires, let me build a campfire right over here next to these beefalo. The thing about beefalo is that they may go into heat, which means that they will be in mating season and anything near them, they will fight. But for now, they're just, chilling. Of course, if you attack them, then they have a pack mentality and they will fight you. All of them will. Same thing is with the spiders as well. Now, nice thing about green caps, well, I have lost some sanity from being out in the dark, so you eat a green cap and you regain some sanity. The cooked one, that is. If you eat the raw one, then you will lose a lot of sanity, but regain some a stomach meter. It'll feed you a bit. And as you can see, the little cooked green cap hurt a little bit, but it's negligible. It's fine. Guess I'll just keep it here for now. And I like to have food items over here. Rocks. Okay, rocks over here. In these two slots, or these three. And then food items next to them, like over here. And then tools in these three slots. And food that I'm going to eat in this one. For instance, berries. Berries actually give you more, feed you more when they are cooked. I guess I could have shown that, but as you noticed, it also healed me, so that's even better. The fire might go out soon, but I think it'll last the night. But, well, just in case, I'll put some poop in there. There you go. Or some manure, And that should last the entire night. Yeah, this night lasted 4 in-game hours. I'm just going to call them hours. So that's the length of the night as it is right now, right after winter, as spring comes after winter. And speaking of spring in particular, the thing about spring, hang on, was there, I don't think there was, I had picked those. It's actually kind of an odd thing that shows up in forests, just some beefalo and a little savanna there. So the thing about spring is that there's a lot of rain. And the problem with rain is that it gives you this wetness meter. If the wetness meter is below 12, then you're fine, doesn't matter. But if it's above 30, then problems will arise. You will start losing sanity quicker and quicker. Your stuff will be soaked, so losing that wetness will be, not so, you'll have to really use that wetness if you pick stuff up. Alright, let me show you how eating berries is improved. You see that brought back a little bit, but that brought back a little bit more, 4 more of that stomach. So that's something to keep in mind. Oh, here you go. There's a butterfly. Oh, actually, I guess I'll gather some flowers. Picking flowers regains your sanity. Oh, I forgot to stop the video. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video here. Not sure what I'm gonna do, but I'll mention it when it starts up again. Goodbye.